He's taken 86, which is good for second. He has lived at the line.
A guy who last year at North Carolina only averaged 2.6 points per game. Just could not really crack the rotation in any significant way.
Which is kind of crazy just because of you watch him play and the IQ that he plays with. It's kind of hard to believe that he wasn't able to get to the floor.
Well, he's got the build, he's got the game. We've seen it early.
Playing like family-wise, his brother plays for the Denver Nuggets. There's a lot to like about Cade Tyson.
Three-point advantage for Purdue.
Grayson Grove, this is a tough spot for him. 6'9" freshman having to play against one of the bigger and more physical front courts in the country.
Fletcher Lawyer able to pull it away. Daniel Jacobson changing that shot of Cade Tyson on the baseline.
It's not a surprise to see that he's leading the Big Ten in block percentage. You know, certainly his minutes kind of hamper what his numbers will be from a blocks per game, but when he's on the floor, he is altering and blocking shots.
Here's Kaufman-Renn against Crocker Johnson, who's already got one personal foul, and Kaufman-Renn goes right at him.
I just don't think you can get your guys to understand how effective Trey Kaufman-Renn is at getting to his right hand until they get out there and see it in person. You can read it on the scouting report all you want, but he is so good at getting what he wants.
Reynolds trying to get inside. That ball poked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Gophers with 17 to shoot. Coming up, the Hoops doubleheader continues when Wisconsin clashes with undefeated Nebraska next on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Good ball game coming up between those two schools.
How about the start Nebraska's gotten off to? But if they have ranked Mass last year, it's a very different story with Bryce Williams.
That Nebraska team building on their crown championship and carrying it right into this season. Here's Grayson Grove, the three, way off the mark for Grove. That's his first three-point attempt of the season. On the other end, quick three from Lawyer won't go. There's Braden Smith again.
Fletcher Lawyer got off to that torrid start shooting the ball, but he's now 3 of his last 13 from 3 through his first little slump of the season shooting it.
There's Kaufman-Renn, backs out for 3, and the rebound to Reynolds.
He can make that. He's only taken 2 on the year. Knocked down 1 of them.
Brought in, he was Davidson's top three-point shooter a year ago, brought into Minnesota to provide that spark outside, but a 3 the old-fashioned way, and it's a 2-point game.
He made 150 threes in his first 2 years of college hoops.
Here's Braden Smith trying to answer, and he does.
I love the action, you know, because a cross screen for Trey Kaufman-Renn is going to attract so much attention. It's screen for the screener. Now you get one for Braden Smith, and he finishes it off with the 3.
Smith 8 points, 3 rebounds, and a steal already. Kai Shinholster off the Minnesota bench. Under 10 to shoot. It's Grove finding Osama. 2 seconds. He steps back for a 3. Good defense by Purdue. Never got a good look. Meyer around the Jacobson screen. Step back from the elbow from Meyer, and Jacobson there with a rebound, foul on the floor. That basket.
This team, he said one word: cutting. And Robbie's talked about it a lot. The way this team cuts, it stands out on that scout for opposing teams. We've seen it be effective last week against Indiana, and we're already seeing it here in West Lafayette.
You know, Andy, it was interesting. We were both with Colorado State. Whoa, pass. Oh, goodness.
Oscar Clough finishing it off. We saw Braden Smith do that at Rutgers, a similar pass, and Clough flushes this one.
To finish my thought here, we were in Seattle with Colorado State last year at the NCAA tournament, and we talked to Nico Medved about some of his offensive influences and whether it's the spread offense or some John Beilein 5-out stuff. He's got a lot of really interesting guys that have mentored him and kind of shaped the way he thinks about offense. Who had an opportunity to kind of put Minnesota in a place where, all right, at halftime you've got a decision to make, and kind of put it away. But give the Gophers a lot of credit here. They've hung in there, and they've played really hard in this one. Braden Smith has as well, though. He has been out here competing.
On the push after the Osama Mims. Gets the screen from Clough. That 2 rebounded by Durkin.
You don't see him miss too many shots like that from 15 feet. He comes off that ball screen, and there's drop coverage, and he walks into one like that. Can almost book it all the time.
Here's Reynolds. Drive it inside, as he is wont to do, and he gets 2 more. It's a 3-point game.
And Langston Reynolds does not care if he's got a 7'4" guy, 7 foot. That does not matter.
And a little uneasy feeling at Mackey Arena right now. 7-0 Minnesota run with a minute to go in this first half.
Purdue loves to attack zones with that ball screen. Braden Smith gets the overload, and I just think Gicarri Harris, you can get that whenever.
Oh, and it ends up in the hands of Clough down low on the ricochet. Look what I found. 2 more on the board.
I think with Jalen Crocker-Johnson in foul trouble and just Minnesota's lack of height, that Purdue would be wise to go into Oscar Clough. Go to that paint and make him pay for it.
Here's Tyson. Around the Crocker-Johnson screen. 10 to shoot for Minnesota. Crocker-Johnson deep 2, and it rolls home.
He's burned Purdue with the jumper.
Coming up, stick around. The halftime show is coming up, presented by State Farm. Dave Revson, Raphael Davis, Seth Davis, basketball and Michigan football reaction. The latest on that coming up as the firing of Sharon Moore occurred earlier today. Ren spinning inside, shot put, won't go. We have reached halftime.
Gold medal team that was coached by Tommy Lloyd of Arizona, played with Koa Pete, AJ DeBonsa. You could see how confident he is. Now in his game, he's gotten bigger and stronger. He needed action like that over the summer, and it's really helped him.
And it's helped Purdue 27-2 in the second half. For the Boilermakers.
Well, Minnesota's 2-3 zone has not had much resistance, and Trey Kaufman-Renn is just flashing in there and shooting floaters off of one pass.
Trey Kaufman-Renn, 5th double-double of the year, 9th of his career. Been a real workman-like double-double, and again, Andy talked about no paint peeling after the Iowa State loss for Purdue in the lot. I can't imagine Matt Painter spent a lot of time peeling paint off the walls at halftime of this game, but it does appear that they said, get it inside.
Yeah, we have to be more focused in the attack, is I'm sure what their message was.
And clearly message received. Reynolds, 3 on the shot clock. Crocker-Johnson.
He doesn't know it.
Has to hoist quickly, didn't get it to go, and there's Braden Smith again. (27-2) in the second half for Purdue.
Kevin, we've seen Braden Smith do a ton of incredible things offensively, but just in terms of his defensive effort and the energy that he's extended on that end tonight, it's just about as good as I can ever remember.
It's as complete a game as I think we've seen in a long time.
His offensive abilities and his performances are what they are. He's certainly been better on that end than we've seen tonight, but the defensive effort here has been outstanding.
And a whistle away from the ball and a foul. Looks like statistical numbers of a triple-double 10 times in his career. He's 4 rebounds away from a triple-double, and I will just point out, he's 4 rebounds and 5 steals away from a quadruple-double.
He better start gambling if he's going to get to that.
And if you're wondering, it has happened before. Lester Hudson in the 2007-2008 season recorded the only quadruple double in NCAA Division I men's basketball history.
Look at you diving deep.
You got to find that answer, because if that happens tonight, you got to be ready. He did it against Central Baptist College. 25 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, and 10 steals. It's a good night.
I would say.
Braden Smith hunting down that quadruple double. Can't get a steal here, but we'll go with that story.
You get a turnover though, man. But
that doesn't count in your quadruple double.
That's like, you know, him and Jack Benter are having a conversation here, and that's probably a bit of a force. But I felt this when I played with Ricky Rubio. You better be ready.
Yeah.
Because this dude can embarrass you and hit you in the face with some passes, right? Like he just, you better be aware if you're cutting, if you're you know, even if you're hanging out on the three-point line, he is going to see you. His vision is incredible.
For a time, Ricky Rubio might have been the best passer.
No question.
Tyson, 5 to shoot. Crocker-Johnson to work against Benter, clears some space and gets the 2. Crowd, as you might imagine, not.
They thought maybe a little discard there with the off arm.
Makes it a 29-4 Purdue advantage in the second half and a 64-36 lead on the scoreboard.
They love running these handoffs for Lawyer to get to his right hand. That was pretty well defended, but then you handle all of it with Lawyer, and then you get it.
9:36 to play in this one. Purdue trying to move to 2-0 and 9-1 on the year. Smith turns, tough shot, and he made it look easy against Cade Tyson.
But what patience there. He gets to the body, he knocks you back, he shows the shot fake, and then it's the footwork. And understanding that when you jump stop, you can always get to your turnaround jumper. That's a dime.
That is a real nice feed and a good cut by Kai Shinholster.
When Minnesota moves that thing from side to side and they just flow in there, those back cuts can be so challenging to defend.
We saw it in the latter half of the first half. That's how they got back into this game. They skip into the corner. Harris's three is good. Gicarri Harris on the assist from Braden Smith, and Purdue's hit their last 8 shots.
You just can't take it all away. You're so concerned about Braden Smith with the ball. You're so concerned about the roll man. You've got to give something up, and that's going to be those weak side threes. If Purdue's making those, that they are in business. Grove, man,
vision there. Osama back up top to Crocker Johnson. He had the hot hand from 3 in the first half. Rebound tipped into the hands of Osama. Crocker Johnson.
A closeout there by Jack Benner. He'll take away the jumper, take away the bounce. Good defense.
6 to shoot. Grove. Osama's going to have to hurry. Back out to Tyson for 3. And Crocker Johnson called for the floor. Drones with
operators killing it.
Oh, yeah. There's Harris. 15 to shoot, under 7 to play in this one. Braden Smith zips the pass. Myers, 3 is good.
That's a big shot for Purdue, and certainly for Omer Meyer in general. Just with some of the struggles shooting the basketball over the last 2. He hadn't made a 3 in that stretch, and certainly he's a guy that has shot better with the rhythm of the dribble. He's been much better off the bounce, especially from 2.
Good feet inside, and Osama foul.
In college basketball, they got with the times, and now we're seeing all the effects in a positive way. So many high-quality international players in the game this season.
There's no question that the talent in college basketball is as good as you will ever see, and it's been concentrated to the high major levels, right? Like, you just see how good and deep some of these high major teams are. But like Maccabi Tel Aviv, which is a shame, because I do think that the goal should still be to graduate players so that when they are done playing, they can make a living. That has got to be still important. I think we've lost that a little bit, especially with the portal of the 4 schools in 4 years.
Meyer, shot fake, short. Clough offensive rebound on the foul.
So Robbie, you're saying a player that actually was drafted. That's the difference. These international players
let's say
and the G Leaguers.
Lance Stevenson.
But that's where they haven't crossed that line yet. A player that has been drafted still can't come back and play college basketball, even if he technically had eligibility. That's the line.
So, okay, let's say LeBron James wants to come back. I guess he was drafted.
I'm sorry.
He was drafted.
He was drafted.
Bad example.
Yes.
Let's say an undrafted guy that went to the NBA and fizzles. Why can't he come back?
And you're saying he has eligibility left. That might, maybe that challenge happens. I mean, we have older players in the game. Chad Baker-Mazar of USC is going to be 26 in January.
Yeah, he's leading the league in scoring.
And an age. Crocker Johnson. He's got 17 tonight. It'll stay there as Benter gets the rebound. Harris. Meyer looks like he may be going the rest of the way. 4 to shoot. Harris's 3. Clough, another offensive rebound, is put back short, and the rebound ends up with Langston Reynolds. The 3 won't go, and Benter the rebound. With the big lead and Omer Meyer on the floor, I gotta think that we might be able to close the book on.
We're hyping the quad
double and quad double.
It's probably
this
not
game. Somewhere Lester Hudson is celebrating the fact that
He's
he will
rejoicing.
remain the only man with a quad double in NCAA basketball history. 3 Purdue players with double doubles tonight: Clough, Wren, and Smith. But we will not see the triple double. We will not see the quad double.
And I think my only question for Purdue would be, why after the Iowa State game did it take a half to kind of impose your will, right? Like, you have these advantages with your roster and your ability and skill that you weren't taken advantage of until the second half. Why did it take that to get to this point? You know, if you want to be considered a tier one of the contenders to win a national championship, I think that's a valid question, because the standard has to be that high. And Minnesota has played, they're on scholarship too, right?
Sure.
Like, it's not a disrespectful thing to them, but it is a question of, you're coming off a disappointing loss. Why not impose your will from the start?
What was the emphasis, and what did it take at halftime to get that to happen? Because it was clearly a concerted effort in the second half for Purdue. 15 to shoot for Benter. Murphy will try. Liam Murphy with the 3. That's a big shot.
He's going to affect games where he gets put in there solely to do that. When you have Braden Smith and Braden Smith's abilities in pick and roll, you need guys to spread the floor and give room for the roll guy to the rim. And Liam Murphy, he might have some shortcomings rebounding and defensively. He is an elite three-point shooter.
Led the ASUN last year from North Florida. 3-point shooting. I say it's a big shot because it's a confident shot. Tyson on the drive. He's fouled by Clough, and that's going to take